Welcome to BlenderMaker for another exciting and interesting tutorial. This is basically uh, how to create colorful backgrounds with animated effects, which can be used for title animations and basic background animation effects, which is going to enhance your scene and give that extra depth and look to your overall scene. So let's get started. It's going to be a little bit of a lengthy tutorial, just bear with me, but I'm sure it's going to be helpful to you, throwing light on some effects and some concepts and other things, okay, and particularly in the compositing part. I have the default scene, delete the cube, and just mesh, and I'm going to create a circle. Okay, so just rotate it in 90, go to the front view and just align into the grid. Okay, going into the edit mode. Okay, pressing F is going to fill the circle with the shaded mode. Okay, now taking up the knife tool. Okay, shortcut is K. Okay, taking it up, just click here, drag. Okay, click here, just okay. I don't think we need that. Okay, skip that and continue. Okay, come to the object mode, deselect the circle, select the camera, come to the front view, Control Alt and number pad 0 will move the camera to the front view. Okay, hopefully it's positioned properly. I'm going to do 60 frames animation. Okay, just a little bit above 2 seconds, just for the sake of this tutorial. I don't have much time, so just going into the timeline, set the end frame to 60 so that you have a nice. Okay, now just select this. Okay, split the window, go into the image editor. I'm going to unwrap this. Okay, come to the front view, auto view, go into the edit mode, select everything, press U, project from view, bounce. So here I have my UVs unwrapped for this object. Okay, come back to object mode. We don't need this, so just click and drag here, make it as a single window. Okay, now I'm going to add a material and a texture to this. So just go into the material, add a new material, call it circle. Naming isn't so important, but still it is important. Have good names, right names, so that it can be referred by anybody in the future if they want to work on this file in the scene. Okay, so now I am okay. Now going into this, maybe settings, a little bit of tweaking is there. Diffuse, leave it at 0.8. Specular, bring all the specular totally down. I don't need any specular here. Okay, but what I need is the transparency. So just enable transparency, cut down the alpha and the specular. That's all. It's totally transparent now. Go into the textures tab. Okay, add a new texture, change it to image, or we open up, and I'm going to add this spiral colors.png. okay, so just click on this, open, it's going to add it. Come here, change the mapping coordinates to UV so that it takes up the UV just which we have unwrapped and just applies the image according to the UVs. Okay, fine. Come down here, open the image sampling, everything's right. Just under this heading fields you have something called pre-multiply. Just check on this so that when we use this as alpha map, okay, it has more depth, and you know it's a subtle difference, but it makes a lot of difference here. So just check on this, mapping is fine, close this, image mapping, everything is fine. Okay, then come down to the influence. It's going to influence the color, the alpha, and I'm also going to check this emit. By checking this and giving a value of this is going to act as a source of light, and I'm going to get some light out of this texture. So I'm not going to necessarily depend on this lamp, the default lamp which we have in the scene, for the light source. So just put this here, but still you don't have to delete it. Just see that it's in your scene, but we do need it. Okay, so select the lamp now, go into the lamp settings, just remove specular on this because the texture map of this is going to emit, and it's going to give us some light, and we don't need any specular because it's going to act as a source of light. Okay, good, just render it, and good, nice. I think everything is in place. You have a nice texture distributed on the circle. Change the world, go to the world and change it to a nice black. Yes, okay. Now go into the textures tab again. Yeah, click on this checker box just below this texture so that we could add another texture. Now I'm going to add another texture which is going to just tweak this particular circular colors in a little bit different way so that we get a more organic and different kind of output. So just add a new, just name the clouds. Already have the clouds mapped to it. Okay, just click on show alpha, so this acts as an alpha, and because it's a cloud texture, you have this randomization, and you have this alpha distributed over the image in a very random manner. Okay, I need to add some colors. Enable ramp. Okay, let this be black and this is white. Fine. Okay, and interpolation can be E so that you get more darkness in this, because this is more of a alpha oriented. Okay, you can also adjust the brightness and contrast if needed. Okay, so maybe I'll just check this to 0.6 and the contrast to 2.248. you have more of black in this now. Okay, enhancing the alpha, and mapping, change it to UV so that it follows the UV which we have unwrapped. Okay, influence, it will influence the color. Blending mode, let's change it to multiply. Let's take a look, and now you can see that the color is being randomized and we have a different kind of output. Okay, this is going to work out very good when we go into the compositing mode and start compositing this. It's of nice. Now I think we have saved this. I need to save this multicolored BG. Save this. Yeah, I've saved this. Nice. I just go to the front view and I need to animate this. Okay, so first let me come to the, okay, we'll start with the first frame. Okay, just scale this so that it goes up the whole area, and go to the last frame, scale this down to a very, yeah, up to that. Okay, just press I and scaling. Oh my god, I have not given a key for this. The first frame. Okay, just scale it up, just scale it up. I scaling. Okay, so you have this as I play, it just zooms out and goes and fades into the horizon or the background, which is black, and fine, animation is done. Okay, good, save it. Okay, now I'm going to create a text. Create a simple text, push it just right below, rotate it in X 90 degrees. Now go into the subject data of the text and I'm going to scale it up using the attribute here which is called size. This is the better option for a text rather than just using the scale and directly scaling the text, because okay, maybe, okay, just go into the camera mode, pull it up and just place it so that that's right in center of the camera and it renders up. Okay, I'm going to the press tab, go into the edit mode. I'm going to type glossy, come back to the object mode, and you need to change the font. If you want, you can change the font, but basically I'm going to stick with this default font. Okay, let's not waste time. Just a little bit of extrusion is needed. So here under the geometry you have extrusion, just give a little bit of extrusion. Let me see, it's a little bit 0.05. yeah, it looks good, nice. Okay, just preview, bring it down to 6 so that you have more faster rendering of this. Oh, and okay, let's move it inside, check it up. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, let's continue, save it. Okay, so I'll go to object, convert to, and convert this into a normal mesh. Now it's no more a text and become, okay, just add a new material for this. Okay, that's good. And add a texture, new texture. and I'm going to use the same texture which I used for the circle, which is behind this. Okay, and diffuse, maybe set some values in the materials tab. I think I'll bring the specular down, don't need a lot of specular highlights. Just 0.16. I think that should do. Okay, you can even bring down the hardness, so the light gets scattered over the object on an even basis, and the specular is still brought down much. Okay, let's go to the texture, changes to image, and I'm going to add the same spiral over this. We don't need pre-multiply on this, and mapping is going to be UV. And what is this going to influence? It is going to influence the intensity, the color, and of course the normal, so that we have a light bump on the text. It looks more realistic. Okay, normal, can bump it up maybe to 5. Add the blend mode, change the blend mode to just take a sample, and yes, you have a nice bumpy text. You can even unwrap it. Not exactly necessary, but if you feel you need to unwrap it, you can unwrap it and place the texture in a more effective way, but it's not essential, and it's not very necessary. Okay, so the background has been changed to a complete black. I thought I didn't do it, but I've done it. That's good. Okay, so what next? So we have, I think, set up with the scene here. Now the most important thing is to composite this. Before going to composite mode, we need to do something, and that is to put this text in a separate layer. How do you do that? Select the text, okay, press M, and it's asking us to move it to the layer. So I just click on this second layer, and now the text is inside this layer. Okay, and I also need to use this camera and the light in both the layers. I'm not going to move it to the second layer, but I'm going to use it in both the layers. So select the camera, select the light, press M, and holding shift click on the second layer. Now you go to the second layer, you have the camera and light here. For the first layer, you have the camera and light, so it's available on both the layers. Okay, now I go to the render settings. Okay, now we are going to composite the text separately and the background separately. Okay, so I need to put them on different separate render layers too, and if I don't do that, I'm not going to get the result I need. So under the render settings, open this layers tab, and you have this here. This is the first default layer. You have a render layer. Okay, and this render layer is basically going to contain this circle. Okay, so here underneath here you see that all the layers are selected here. You need to select only the first layer which contains this circle. Okay, we could go here and just rename this to circle. Okay, now I need to put the second layer which contains the text into a separate render layer. So clicking on this plus button would create a new render layer. Just rename it as text. This is going to contain the second layer. So we have the circle, which is the first layer, and we have the text as a separate render layer containing the text. Okay, but for render purposes we are going to render both this. So here, holding shift, select both the layers, have a simple layer. Okay, fine. circle scene and text. There's the text, there's the okay, all done. Let's move into the compositing. Got it. Have a render, use nodes, backdrop, take this. Okay, so now I have the default render and the composite. Okay, now this renders the circle layer as we see it. Circle layer as we see it. Now I need to duplicate this. Shift D would duplicate this, just bring it down. Okay, and here zoom in so that you can see here. Just click it and change it to text. So we have two separate render layers here, which is useful for compositing the text and the background separately. Okay, Shift A output viewer, just put this. We have the background here. V is going to zoom in and zoom out the composited effect. Alt V is going to zoom in, and just pressing V will zoom it out. Okay, first work on the circle layer and come to the text layer. Okay, first I'm going to add a filter. I'm going to add a dilate. We just add it to this. Dilate is going to add basically it is used to add a lot of glow. It is going to increase the brightness of that layer. And in this layer, as we see, we have a lot of immediately you see this change to black and white, and all those white areas are going to become more brighter. Okay, so just bumping this value, you see it just gets a little bit blurred out, but there's overall brightness added to this, and this would be enhanced as we keep on adding other nodes. Okay, now just add a RGB curve, or try with this and do get it. I don't think we get it. Okay, just add a simple curve. Need it. Basically it's up to you to add any color, doesn't matter. Okay, we have an RGB node. Okay, then again Shift A, go to the filter, add a glare, pull it up, put it here, and it's a glare. Now we need to tweak some values here inside this glare and get a nice. Okay, first of all change this to ghost. Okay, just composite. Okay, just change it to ghost, the high quality. Okay, iterations need to be a little bit higher. Bring down the threshold to 0. Immediately you start seeing some glare on this. Okay, other values are all just work with this. Now it's more nice, and you have this. Okay, so as you have animated this, and maybe you go down and just take a render of this. You see there's a nice glow happens because of this glare. Yes, I think it's nice. Okay, just stick to it and come back later and blend this to. Now coming here to this text. Okay, first of all let's add a viewer node. Okay, need to render the text. Okay, just take this and add it to the composite. Okay, let's stick to this. Just add this to the composite. Okay, fine. Okay, so we have a view node for this. Start working on this. I'm going to add a glare basically. Okay, so just click on this, Shift D would duplicate this, drag it here and just add it to this. See a lot of glare. This is not what we want for the text. We need to change settings here. So I just change it to streaks. This looks better. Okay, maybe some high streaks. Good. Iterations is basically going to decide how much of the glow you want. So unless you see, now you have a little bit, so you can just keep adding it. Okay, threshold. Okay, streaks, you can just add more streaks if you want. Okay, if you want, you can add just this would be 8, and you see you have some nice, you could even have an angle for this. You want what happened? Bump it up all the way. Oh my god, it's too much. Bring it down. It's taking some time. Let's just save it. Okay, just stick to it and come back and tweak it later if we need to. Oh, I'm going to add another. Go to filter, add filter. This is one of the coolest nodes I've ever seen in Blender, inside of Blender. It's going to just change your entire compositing and the effects drastically and give a excellent effect. Let's see what it does. Just put it here, add it to this. It's basically softening or sharpening all those. If you need to add a shadow, you need to use this filter. Okay, and inside this, you just zoom it. Okay, inside this, you have a lot of options here. Okay, you can sharpen it. Okay, do a lot of things, but what I'm going to do is something called kish. I don't know how to pronounce it. I pronounce it as krish. Kish. Well, I don't know. Maybe Sobel. You just start getting all sorts of crazy effects. That's what I want. You can just bring down the. You see, you have this glossy effects now immediately taking place. Okay, you get a shadow also. And just play around, sir. I just like to stick it with this effect. Okay, nice, cool. Okay, next, finally, that's all to do with this text. Let's go to finally add a mix node. Okay, I'm going to mix these two things and for the final output. Okay, so move it here so it's easy for us to see. Move it here. Okay, take this image, plug it into this, take this and plug it into this, just remove it and take this and plug it into the compositing, maybe a viewer node. You could view it, just change this to add. There you have your glossy text, nice and neat. Just something I need to adjust, and just checking it up. Iterations. Maybe check this up. Okay, check this up. Click here and you get this. Click there. You don't need this. I don't need this. Okay. Seems to be nice. Just to take a render of this. Bump it up. Take a render of this. Nice. Really nice. So here you just see, just by simply animating a few of these effects, you can just basically change your color going to this RGB curves. Maybe bump it up so that you have, this is all again up to you. You need some more color, just bump it up. I don't need this. Matches very well with the. Just render this, and there you have nice glossy text with a animated background. Okay, just save this. Come back to the default mode. Now go to the render settings. Okay, I'm going to just take a 60 frame render of this and just let us see how it looks. Okay, come down here, open it up, render multicolor BG, create a new directory here, call it rendered. Select this so that the final render goes into that folder, and we're going to render it as a maybe a maximum. Okay, and change this to a MPEG format, the RGB. Fully everything is fine. Okay, now I'm going to go to the first frame, and I need to check up. Yes, dimensions. Okay, it goes from 1 to 60. That's right, that's fine. Okay, save it. I'm going to animate it. It's going to take some time. I'm going to pause and come back again. So let me pause, come back. Okay, it's finished rendering. Almost taken 11.5 minutes, as you can see here in the render window, and we have our final render output. Let's have a look. It's approximately a little above 2 seconds, so it's going to be very fast, but I hopefully believe that you can see the effect. So you could see that just pausing it, now you could see all this glowing here, which blends with the text and gives us a nice cool effect of the text being very glowing and very bright. You have this glass kind of a feeling. Okay, just keep, and as it zooms away, the circle zooms away from us, you see all this high glow effects and really enhances the scene. Okay, just to explain the concept, I've got it here. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you've learned something from this. Meet some time later. Thank you.